Hey, what's going on, guys? So the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, he has to know what's going on with all this fraud in Minnesota. We're talking almost $9 billion in fraud, and this is not a very big state. So how could he possibly not know what's going on? Now he's gonna have to report to Congress and give his speech, and I'm very curious to know, I'm sure others are, as to what his excuse is gonna be as to why this happened inside the state of Minnesota, and also, within the cities, why didn't any mayor pick up on this? Or maybe they did pick up on it. Maybe they were involved in it. There's a lot of fraud with daycares, of course, with the SNAP benefits in Minnesota. There's a lot going on there. And to reach that level of money for such a small state, that's astronomical. That's huge. And him being the governor, even his lieutenant governor, you mean none of them knew what was going on? That's strange, but we'll see. We'll check out this video real quick.
The Washington Post editorial board is calling for stricter SNAP qualifications across the U.S. as Minnesota fraud scandals unravel under Governor Tim Walz. They say, quote, Walz's boondoggle underlines the need for serious reforms across America. Too bad that too many progressive leaders are lackadaisical at best about cracking down on fraud and errors lest it curtail social services.
Joining us now is senior writer for the Washington Examiner and Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, SNAP is the fourth most likely for fraud of federal programs. Your reaction to the Washington Post editorial board?
Well, you got to wonder, guys, if Governor Tim Walz will blame white supremacy for the Washington Post editorial board. Not exactly a bastion of conservative sentiment. An editorial board has never endorsed a Republican presidential candidate in its history, by the way. They're now even calling out Walz and other Minnesota state leaders, and rightly, because now you got to look at all the pressure from federal government under Donald Trump and what he's doing in putting the pressure on Minnesota. And rightly, given the billions of dollars that were stolen, allegedly, by members of the Somali community for many years. HHS has now cut off all child care funds. The Department of Agriculture now investigating SNAP. The Labor Department is now investigating unemployment insurance fraud. And Homeland Security, Justice Department, they're now executing search warrants in a door-to-door fashion.
They should cut off all funds. They really should. With all this fraud going on, stop all funding, do the investigation, and start weeding people out. They're doing right by stopping all the funds going there. I agree with that.
It's a full court press. And I'll leave it here, by the way. Betting markets are now saying that Governor Tim Walz, again, a vice presidential candidate with Kamala Harris in 2024, not too long ago, he now has a 30 times more chance of being indicted than he does of winning the presidency. The way this is going at this point, Nate, I think you might as well put that at 30,000 times at this point.
Joe, honestly, this system, it just needs to be cleaned up. And I know this is, I don't know if this is going to sound good or bad, but maybe this needed to happen at such an obscene level for people to realize how much these programs are being taken advantage of, because a lot of people rely on this and they're just getting swept under the rug because so many people are doing so many things wrong. Do you agree or disagree?
Oh, Ashley, absolutely. And it's not only like what should have been provided. I mean, in some cases, it was an apparition to begin with. I mean, we're talking about food programs for hungry children in places that didn't even produce the types of facilities that would provide that. Or even worse, autism services. We know that problem's only getting worse in this country. All these centers that were supposed to open that never even existed. And when you talk about billions of dollars, we're not talking on a federal level where you can say, well, that's not too much when you consider that we're talking like trillions of dollars. This is at a state level that doesn't remotely have the budget for this. So again, accountability goes to the top. That goes to Tim Walz, and he has been deflecting, playing the race card from the bottom of the deck. And now at this point, even liberal media is now investigating this. There is nowhere to go for this man. And we have to wonder, a year from now, will this be seen as one of the biggest stories of 2026? And hey, whatever happened to that guy, Tim Walz, who was running for president at one point?
Here's something interesting also. In Minnesota, where ICE is, FBI, DHS, Americans are protesting. Do you understand what I'm saying? Americans are protesting. Their taxpayer dollars were, as the guy said, supposedly stolen, which we know they were. It was stolen through fraud. And you're protesting the very people who are there to clean out the people, the businesses who stole your taxpayer dollar, but you're fighting against them. That's crazy. To me, that's crazy. You know, you have someone, it's like someone breaking into your house and you defend the burglar against your family. And they're the ones who broke in, taking things, but you're defending them. That's what Americans, I should say some Americans are doing in Minnesota. And I'm not understanding, why would you do something like that? Why are you defending someone who is taking from you, taking your resources, more money that can be put in your pocket, and you're going against the people who are trying to stop it and clean it up? You know, it's okay if you don't like Donald Trump, but don't dislike someone so much that you go against your own best interests. You know, there's a video that's been out there, this Somalian that was saying, you know, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. You know, he was saying, well, you guys go to work, Americans, and, you know, I'll be a freeloader. And, you know, why would you want to defend them if they're talking like that about you? Your taxpayer dollar is what's being given to them. And you're going to work every day, paying your taxes. And some people are struggling paying bills, mortgages, rent, car notes, trying to keep the lights on. And all this is happening, but you're in the road protesting against ICE and other agencies, federal agencies. I don't get it. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think Tim Walz knew what was going on? And also, do you believe he will be indicted and possibly get prison time? I'll talk to you guys soon, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.